General Douglas MacArthur is undoubtedly one of the most famous and decorated soldiers in American history. However, the man remains an enigma to many. The lessons of his leadership are not only taught in history classes, but also studied by today's military for their relevance in today's world. It is the job of the MacArthur Memorial here in Norfolk to make sure those lessons remain alive.
An agreement was reached between the city of Norfolk and General MacArthur that he would donate all of his papers, memorabilia, and the city would then take the old City Hall and Courts building, would convert it into a museum, and that the two would be joined together. It is a museum that primarily not only is the site where General and Ms. MacArthur are buried, but a research center that provides information for students and scholars and families, and then an education function to achieve that most important goal of ensuring that the story of that generation that served the nation from the Civil War to the Korean War is not forgotten, but is preserved and is presented to future generations of Americans.
This is all the official correspondence, intelligence reports, staff reports. We deal with a lot of people from Japan, South Korea, Australia. These are all places that MacArthur affected during his time. And it runs anywhere from grammar school all the way through postgraduate degrees. A lot of authors, a lot of video documentary companies come here to do research because we have about 100,000 photographs, about 500 films. So these are all historical things that people use when they do documentaries or educational programs.
We have a pretty big hands-on collection as part of our education department. And we have children come in, they get to try on the uniforms of the soldiers, the helmets, things like that. They get to envision what life is like for these soldiers in all of our wars. We can basically, through all of our programs, trace the evolution of the United States as a world power. In terms of, say for instance, the Korean War, adults and children can come here, learn about the roots of that conflict, learn what happened while General MacArthur was involved in the conflict, and then learn a little bit about what's going on over there today.
Well, he was a definite scholar and student of the profession of arms. One of the things that if you look at the New Guinea campaign and also the campaigns in Korea, especially with Incheon, Incheon was probably, I think, in the 20th century, at least in my view, one of the best examples of using this idea of an indirect approach to war by landing in Incheon, because it was in one of the most unlikely places that anyone would land. It was a place that came as a complete surprise to the North Koreans. So it was a risky operation, but those were in fact were the main things that made it attractive.
What do you see as the value going forward of an archive like this?
Well, MacArthur's place in history is still very relevant. We have many people using it from the current military administrations just because of the occupations of Iraq and Afghanistan, and they want to relate it to how MacArthur's success in Japan happened, so it's still something that's very current.
A lot of people think this is just history, but it's really a very contemporary experience that we can offer you here. You know, we can help people understand your world and the conflicts today.
Dwight Eisenhower, who served as his aide and chief of staff in the Philippines, said that MacArthur was probably the only man that he knew that really had a photographic memory. He was a fast thinker, quick learner, was one that was able to look beyond the daily turmoil and be one of these visionary leaders that I think any nation needs, and we were lucky to have he and others during World War II, but especially to have him in the role that he was during the Second World War, during the occupation, where he really accomplished an awful lot for the country and for the world.
We hope you've enjoyed this look into what made General MacArthur the leader he was. If you want more information on the MacArthur Memorial, visit macarthurmemorial.org. For Hot Ticket, I'm Kevin Hornsby.